Hello, Sagittarius. Thank you for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Bonefire Tarot by Gabby Angus West. Supportive oracle cards are You Are Clairvoyant Oracle Cards by Belinda Grace, illustrations by Elaine Marzin. Okay, what do we have for Sagittarius? Sagittarius. Okay. I like what I'm seeing here so far, but let's get a little farther. Try not to be jumping the gun here. I really do like this. I think you're going to be one of these things that's going to happen in stages, but I think this is going to go really well. Starting off, you got a lot of energy, like give and take. Almost kind of like you're being invited to be a part of a party and you're bringing something to share. It's kind of like that feel. Like people are saying, come on over and hang out with us. Sure, I'll bring cookies, whatever. It's kind of like the give and take. You get to go and hang out at their place and have a good time. You bring some cookies to that's how you balance it off. Maybe you bring some wine, whatever you do. I'm getting as this starts off, it's a really good energy. I keep calling this the party card because it feels like music and movement is kind of like a lot of good energy, a lot of coming together, feeling good. You're contributing. I feel like this works for you. For the people this is really going to hit with, this really works. When you contribute and you're a part of making the situation happen and you also enjoy it at the same time, it's like that give-take balance is really, that's optimal. You like to participate, you like to help, and you like to enjoy yourself at the same time. This is good. You don't mind bringing something to share. You have no problem with that at all. You'll even help clean up or set up whatever you need. You don't care. As long as it's like you're not doing everything and you're just doing your fair share, it's all cool. It's all good. And I'm getting the Kuan Yin. I just feel like lately, at least today, I'm feeling a very universe energy with this. Kind of like there's a very emotional, positive energy, kind of like, let's keep this energy up, let's keep your energy positive, let's keep the people around you positive. Everybody's coming together in a positive energy. It feels very, very positive at the moment. This isn't always how I feel about this card, but I feel like, everything isn't perfect, so I don't want to paint it like everything's sunshine and roses. But it feels like we're trying to do our best with it. Everybody seems to be getting along for the most part. Let's keep that going. Let's see how long we can keep it going. All right, so we keep going forward. That's the first stage. I feel like there's 4 here. That's the first stage. That's how this situation starts. You seem to connect with these people. That's the first round. Goes well. Should we make this happen again? Now, there's something weird in the environment. Be careful of rumors or... There's something weird here. Because I'm getting the King of Swords with the Queen of Cups. I'm getting there's communication between the two. It says automatic writing because it comes in right between them. I feel like there's communication going between the two. I feel like there's some people flat out saying what they're thinking. Other people kind of reading between the lines on this situation. I don't see you being involved. It's almost kind of like that party, however it went the first time. People are looking to recreate that, but they're not, at least not in the beginning, they're not including you. But there's conversations going back and forth. And I feel like between whoever these people are, one of these people is communicating with you. And they're telling you what's going on. Like, somebody else is telling you what's going on, but I feel like there's I don't know why the word conjecture would fit there. I can't even, I'm having one of those moments where the meaning is just not hitting, but basically I feel like there's something here where people are assuming what's going on here, and they're assuming things that aren't quite correct. And they might be interpreting it or sharing it with you. They're sharing with you their interpretations, which may not be correct. Almost like they think that you're trying to be pushed out of a situation, which may not be correct. Somebody else just may not have been thinking of you at that time. It doesn't mean you're being left out. It's just you haven't come around in the thought yet. So be careful of that. Somebody may be telling you that you're trying to be pushed out. That might not be the case just yet. Be careful. Just be careful with that. Because I'm getting the 8 of Swords with you and finding a mentor, kind of like you want to be a part of it, and you're not understanding why why don't they want you to be a part of it? You're trying to understand that. Like, what did I do? Why am I being pushed out? The Eight of Swords is kind of like you're feeling trapped. Like, I'm not even supposed to know that they're trying to push me out of the situation. Can I even ask without it being a problem? Like, I'm not even supposed to know this is happening yet. Somebody else is telling me that they don't think they want me around, and I'm not understanding why. The finding a mentor is trying to find a way to handle this, trying to find somebody else who can help you figure out, like, what did I do? Why is there a problem here? I don't understand. I thought we all had a good time. I thought I contributed. I was easy to get along with. I usually am anyway. Why is there a problem? I don't understand it. That's the second phase. Be careful, though. People might be interpreting things incorrectly, or they might have thought that they understood something that they really didn't. Be careful of that. The next phase comes in. Things start to balance. I'm getting the Justice card with the Temperance. Watch how things play out. Something's not quite baked here. It's like half baked, half done. It's almost like, when I say half baked even, it's almost like somebody, like, I like to use baking analogies if you didn't know. Somebody's making a cake, but like they're forgetting like a key ingredient. Like they're not putting in salt or vanilla, or something isn't going in this, and it's not making it. The situation is not going to make it. I feel like this first preliminary trying to pull something together isn't quite making it. Be aware of that. Justice is coming in. Temperance is like it's slowly being worked through, and it's not quite working. The Eight of Cups is also telling me, like, it's kind of like, somebody putting together the batter, realizing it's not quite right, but instead of trying to fix it, they're just kind of like saying, yeah, we'll just forget it. Because the Eight of Cups is telling me it was kind of happening, it was kind of coming together, but then it's going to be abandoned. Whatever this is the third phase, by the way, it's going to kind of dissipate. You're not being left out, it's just not happening. That's what I feel is happening. Because you might be questioning, like, wow, nobody's telling me anything about it now. Because I think it just disappeared. Integrity with leadership is like, be aware. Somebody else's interpretation of that situation, I feel like they're off. They're not trying to be. Like, it's not like a purposeful misinterpretation, you know what I mean? They're not lying or anything like that. I'm not saying that. But they misinterpreted something, and it wasn't what it seemed to be. Leadership with integrity is kind of like, this is your chance to try to move something forward. If you want this to happen again, get the ball rolling. Whatever the situation was, start talking about it. Start asking other people what's going on. Leadership is telling me, if you want this to come around again, take the initiative, just start the ball rolling. I'm also getting integrity is kind of like, by you trying to start the ball rolling yourself and starting to get a situation yourself going, other people are going to let you know about what happened with this other situation and how it just kind of fizzled. I feel like you'll also find out that you weren't being pushed out, you just weren't included. There's a difference. It's not like they weren't borrowing you from it. That was not what was happening. What was happening was you just weren't included. Like, they just didn't pull you into it. I don't know if I'm saying it right. I hope I'm saying it right. Like, you weren't being blocked, you just weren't being asked. That's all. It's just nothing negative. There wasn't anything negative towards you. The High Priestess is showing up on your side, because I feel like the truth will come forward to you one way or another, especially if you start taking the leadership role and you try to make it happen on your own. I feel like you're going to find out, oh, yeah, okay, no, we weren't trying to not include you. We just didn't get far enough to actually make something happen. And we didn't feel like, why should we drag everybody into it if we weren't going to actually make it happen? So we were just kind of kicking back and forth ideas. Those ideas just didn't actually come to fruition. Oh, okay, that's cool. Nobody's negative against you. I feel like that's what they're trying to say. But there might be some misinterpretation from somebody else thinking it was. It's just, I don't think that's really what's happening right here. You got the King of Cups coming in the fourth phase. I feel like you're going to be a very key player in making the next round actually happen. Your passion moves it forward. I feel like when you got the Queen of Pentacles matching in the environment, like, don't get caught up in the gender, but these are complementary cards. These work well together. I'm getting they very much work well. You're going to connect to the right energy. You're going to be the one that actually gets this to come forward to the next phase. It's going to happen again. Just realize misinterpretations. Be aware of misinterpretations. I feel like that's the only thing that could cause you problems. Health with the Page of Swords is how they're giving you this advice at the end. Be aware of people who just kind of are wondering, and they speak things out. They talk things out, but they're trying to figure things out, so they're talking it out, trying to figure it out. And sometimes when people are trying to figure things out, the way they talk about them, it seems like this is how it was going, when that's not the case. This is what they were wondering, if this is how this was going. Like, I hope I'm explaining that well. Be aware of this energy, because I feel like if you pay attention a little bit more, you'll realize that sometimes people try to figure out situations by talking it out, and it seems like they present things almost as facts without realizing they're doing that, and things get misinterpreted. Be aware of this energy. They're saying, be aware and pay attention that people who don't have bad intentions, they don't have bad intentions, are trying to figure things out and questioning things, but it may be coming off a little bit as if it's a fact when it's actually just curious. Kind of like, was that an albatross that just flew across my house? Instead of saying it that way, they would have said, wow, did you see that albatross? They were questioning if it was, but it wasn't coming across that way. It was coming across like they saw one. That's not what happened. They were actually like, did anybody see the albatross? Kind of questioning like somebody else, did they see that bird and was it actually an albatross? But they're not coming across that way. And I feel like somebody communicates that way. The way they communicate, they're not putting the question mark in there. They're just kind of saying, did you see that woodpecker fly by? It was probably a crow, but they're asking if anybody saw it so that anybody would challenge it. No, that was a crow. Oh, it was a crow. Oh, okay. Like, they're not putting the question marks in there. They're not putting the question. There's a lot of people out there who do that, not for nothing. They don't put the question marks in, and people don't realize that they're questioning something, and they're like, it's a question. That's the thing. Pay attention. Realize this energy, because it's not malicious. That's the thing, too. The energy's not malicious. It's just the way they're presenting information. It looks like a statement when it should have been a question mark. That's what I'm getting from this. And they're trying to highlight, I feel like for this reading, that's one of the things you're really supposed to get from this person, because it's a good person, realizing that they're not putting question marks in their statements. They're presenting things as statements that should be question marks, and they're actually meaning them to be question marks. I hope that makes sense. Because I feel like that's what this whole reading is about, for you to identify a good person and realize the way they talk that's all it's about. It's about the way they talk, and for you to understand what they really mean versus what they're actually saying. Okay, I think we're good. I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.